Usually when I do that face, you know it's not good. You know it's not good. I'm gonna save you the trouble. This tank is not worth it. This tank is really not worth it, audience. I don't care. But since you're here, I might as well show you it, or let alone talk about it. And Wargaming, if you're watching this, any of you, what were you thinking? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just get into the video. So here she is, audience. GSOR 1008. Now, in case you're wondering, if you're looking on my screen right now and probably looking around every little corner of the screen, yes, I know, my gold is at 1000, but it's also 666, the mark of the devil. And you know what? That fits perfectly for this tank. I feel like I'm playing hell's greatest tank. The ultimate piece of... I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just get right to it. And why I have a huge problem with this tank. First and foremost, if anyone knows me, let's talk about the armaments. Now, you're probably wondering, Fury, with a rounded gun and stuff, it should have something to protect itself. After playing so many games, and the reason why I'm late on this to try to show something to substance with this tank can't block an 88. You heard me correctly. This tank cannot block an 88. Think about that, folks. An 88 gun can penetrate this head on if you don't hit the beer belly that much because of the round oval shape of it. But the head turret, you could pen. Sides, you could pen. Everything else, you could pen. What the fuck is the... I understand. Now, don't get me wrong. I have played some tanks like CDC and stuff to where they have no armaments. But you're going to see why this is going to be a huge problem to not only just that, but let's just say your armaments are paper thin to anything that's an 88. Anything below that, you could bounce. Anything above that, you're fucked. Because there's no, like I said, your highest armaments on here, not only the rounded belly, which is the, how much is the armor belly thing? It's 89 millimeters. So how rounded it is, you could probably have it up to probably, I would say 105 almost, if you call by angle, but it depends where you shot. If you shoot the left and right side of the rounded, yeah, it's not going to pen easily. But yeah, it's fucking easy to pen. And the strongest armament is 175. 88 pen more than that. So that's why I'm saying that you're kind of fucked. So, yeah. So my word of advice, don't get hit at all. That's the best advice. Don't get hit at all. So you're probably wondering, what is my problem with this? Well, if you look on the right-hand side of the screen, before we get to talk about the gun, penetration for over 100 meters. Remember, 100 meters is really close. 226 pens. Now, granted, yes, you're all going to say, well, Panther 88 has that. But yeah, that has premium matchmaking. This sees tens, for fuck's sake. Tens. Now, ignore the other one because that's kind of bullshit right there with the other stuff. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But for right now, like, that is horseshit. And why, you may say, why it's like that? But it even gets even better. This is a 105 millimeter cannon. You would think a 105 millimeter cannon would do a little bit better at penetration, but no, it doesn't. Biggest problem with this tank. This tank, and I could say this proudly, I don't know if there's another tank that has a longer reload besides the Italian heavy tank premium, but this tank has the longest reload I have ever seen. 40.1 second reload. Why is the reloading so long? On a tank like this for a tier 8, you expect artilleries with this long reload, but then they have this satisfying when they hit something, it deletes all of their health almost. What the actual fuck, wargaming? Why is this a long reload? God damn it! So, bottom line is how stupid this is, audience. This thing has very, very little armor. Mind you, very little armor. Gun DPM is meh, meh. And then it has the longest reloading? What is the whole point of this tank then? If the tank cannot pen heavy tanks with the satisfying of having that long ass reload, mind you, 40 seconds. I only had to do that because, well, I'll tell you when we get to the battle, but 40 seconds. 40 seconds! And they expect you 4 shells and to be like, oh, that's satisfying, right? But you still have to physically aim. But that aim time is like, it takes forever. That's why most of the times I have to snipe with the damn thing because there's no fucking armaments to protect it. Just, God, fucking wargaming. At 500 meters, now mind you, most of the times you're going to be sniping with this tank is 211. Oh my god. So, let me get this straight, wargaming. If it's a heavy tank at 500 meters, you should not attempt shooting it if it's not strong, if it's weak. If it's weak enough, yes. If it's strong, like, for example, anything above 250, which is usually 90% of the time are light, Tiger 2s, upper plate hull armor, the head turret, and all that, are usually that amount of armor. You're telling me a tank with no armor and stuff, but you're going to give me the pen of shit. And then when you try to snipe, like being smart with it, to try to avoid people, to do that reloading, you're still shit. So it's literally a design tank to kill mediums and light tanks, but I wouldn't even say light tanks because you can't physically aim for light tanks that well. So, granted, this is really a huge problem. Oh, God. What else is wrong with this tank? I had to put camouflage on it. I had to put camouflage and a lot of and a camouflage netting. I need camouflage perks as well because if without it, you could get spotted easily. So as long as I have steel concealment, that's the only thing that beats it is 247 meters away, which is, thank you God, that actually works because that way you could see up to 407 millimeters. That gives you enough time to shoot and react fast enough. Good. That's good because I want it to be hidden because of how bad the armaments and everything is. So that's the only decent part. Speed is okay too. 60, not bad. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to fix it because there's numerous ways to fix it. I just turned my tank into a sniper. Camouflage netting, aiming thing, and binoculars. That's what I turned it into. So, not to talk about all that, let's talk about the other things. So what you get out of this too, let's talk about the ammunition cost. Now, granted, we already talked about this one. This one is your AP, which is literally, we already talked about it. It does 320 damage a shot, so I would say 250. I have never seen it roll up to 320 unless it's a light tank or very light armor, heavy tank or medium. But I've never seen it roll up that high. It's always like 250 or 198. So we already talked about all that. So now let's talk about the APDS, which is, the fast black rounds I don't like. APDS, which I hate it. So the cost of one shell, and mind you, you shoot 4 out of this tank, is 4,800. So times that by 4, that's a lot of fucking money. A lot of money. But penetration's better. At 100 meters, 321. At 500 meters, 220. High explosives, don't bother putting any in it. If for 53 millimeters on 100 meters or 500 meters and how much the reloading is, like I said, I would put none in it, guys. Don't put nothing in it. With the long ass reload you have, what are you going to high explosive 53 millimeters that? Like artillery and stuff? Well, by the time you find artillery with that, some other person's going to kill it because because you remember, you're sitting in the back because that's usually the best way to survive in this tank. It's just, and if you're trying to annoy someone with it, why waste 4 shells of high explosives when you can just wait your time to shoot them if you're hidden pretty well? it's just, it's just dumb packing it on here. So, as much as I really want to get into the game, we have to talk about the other thing you get out of this, and that is the commander. The Liara's Last Stand, pretty much, commander. She already comes with 2 perks. I put in Reloading and Sixth Sense. I know I need to put in Born Leader, but there is so many other perks I need. I'm not going to go through it all because there's so many, but I'm going to advise you right now, focus on Concealment, focus on Sniping, or if you're going to brawl, focus on like everything that involves reloading and everything that involves stuff, because I don't think you should brawl with it, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. So you get her out of it. She's a 2-star, mind you, which pisses me off again because we had commanders in the past in Season Pass, like the Zombie, the Bear, and now the Czechoslovakian girl. And it just pisses me off how this is a thing where that girl is only a 2-star. Makes no sense. But you know, whatever. Let's just get to the battlefield. Okay, so here we are. This is the 35 match of today. Yes, you heard me correctly. 35. I couldn't get a good game out of it because of the freaking reloading. Now, granted, I hate this tank with a passion. The reloading is so atrocious on this tank that it's so hard to get a reloading. Now, don't get me wrong, audience. I understand that there's tons of tanks reloading problems. The Italian heavies, the Iron Rain, mostly a lot of auto reloadings. I understand why they have a long time reloading, because having a very fast reloading rapid fire gun is ridiculous. But 40? Come on, guys. And yes, like I said before, you could put the equipment pieces, you could put all the reloading thing, Born Leader perk and reloading perk, whatever. But there's no reloading system. It's only ventilation, so you're kind of fucked. The reloading is so bad on this tank. Now, as you saw up there, I was trying to sit on the perch, wait for the tanks, but unfortunately, I couldn't wait because I couldn't see them. So now I could see them, so I try to park my ass right over here. This tank reminds me. Has anyone ever played Team Fortress 2? Does anyone ever remember playing the Spy? It's a lot like that. It's a tank that has to sit in the back, wait for the chaos to happen, and then strike. You know what I'm talking about. You can't attack players that are unoccupied and stuff like that. Here, you need to let them have the chaos fighting happen, and then you quickly come in and jab them in, because that's basically what this tank does. And the problem with this tank so much is that DPM. Not only is the gun long reload, like I said, but the DPM really harms me. Now look at this. I'm trying to aim for tanks, but I'm afraid to shoot. So I'm waiting for the right opportunity to shoot. Even that light tank that just zipped on by way over there in the corner. I had to wait because you only got 4 shots, and that reloading is ridiculous. So I'm waiting to find a perfect shot, and this is majority of the games you're going to be playing with this tank. Just sit there waiting. Now I try to fire, but of course the aiming reticle, I was trying to shoot at the Yag TIG 88, nothing, but then I shot the medium. I'm like, finally, got a pen. And then I pen him again, beautiful. It's waiting for those opportunities to strike when you're not detected. And this is why I really think that this tank is designed heavily to be a sniper tank class, pretty much tank, because you can't really easily brawl with this tank. Not with 40 seconds. No. This tank is not suitable for 40-second reloading frontline brawling. No. I mean, this is not like a Bore 6 gun, mind you. This is only highest average I said was 252. So, yeah, granted, you don't want to brawl with this. But if you have to, at least I can show you the next game how to exactly work this tank in a brawling match. So here I am pulling up, trying to get a better side because I can't hit anyone. So I thought maybe hide behind this rock since we lost the ledge. I'm going to sit over here and pretty much snipe it down. Boom, yep. And then, boom, dead. But, cost of hitting me as well. And I'm like, son of a bitch. And that's the problem. This thing has no armaments and it just pinned me in the turret. So, yeah, this thing cannot bounce worth a lick of shit. So don't expect it to be hold down and be like, you can't hit me, you can't hit me, and then bam, hit. And oh, here's that problem. A light tank sneaked up behind me, but I was in the middle of the reload. Another reason why you should not brawl with this tank. I fired my shots, trying to hold down, and then boom, he hits me, and then boom, hits me again. I'm trying to turn, but that sticky controller of World Tanks, I tell it to go right, and then it goes left. It's stupid, but thankfully, the tank is chasing after him, and yep, he got him. Thank God, because he wasn't irritated. So I said, thank you for that. Artillery is just trying to barrage over here. So that's not good. So we took it most in the middle of the map, but then M103 is holding back the two tanks. Now the problem is we also have a Dreadnought, a Yagtag 88 on the other side, and another medium. So I'm just here going like, okay, do I get spotted? Do I get spotted? Nope. And I was testing the waters because, again, you don't want to be caught with your pants down with this tank. So here I am moving up, trying to be like the spy in Team Fortress 2, sneaking up right behind them while they're distracting him. He's being distracted, sneaking up behind him, and then I locked on barrel, and then boom, got him. Right on the side of the track, and thankfully the guy says great shot, which is good, but here's where the downfall is of brawling. I lost a lot of my tanks to the Dreadnought, which, good game by the way, person of the Dreadnought by the way, the, I can't see his gamer tag, Happy Group, good game. I mean, I try to keep my team alive, but that reloading, that fucking reloading, it's so... This is why I hate the tank so much. I have dealt with longer reloadings than this, but they were so satisfying to shoot something. Here you have to physically aim, but it's very, very hard to do that. Now the tank's going up. I'm reloaded. So he goes up, blaps the black tank, or the Dreadnought, I think. But they're in a good position. They're like Obi-Wans. They have the high ground. So it's not exactly easy since... The tank, you can see the elevation of this tank is not really good because of that back turret. Dreadnought kills another tank, and I'm like, okay, I gotta try charging them because I have no choice because of the gun mantlet. So I'm charging, but it's weird though because I don't know how fast reloading is, but he just charges at me. Of course, RNGs just hit the ground, and then I died to the Dreadnought. It was like there was nothing I could have done. The gun somehow hits the dirt, and then boom. Now the tank tries to shoot him and then all that. So, yeah, I'm going to pause it right here real quick. Yeah, this is why you don't brawl with it, but it's like I had no choice. I was losing people so fast. This one's a team player reliability. This is a tank you have to play with people that... Oops, sorry. This is a tank you have to play with people and blueies, which is a huge problem because you have to rely so heavily on the blueies to survive. Now let me show you the reward group. So here's the reward, and you can honestly tell it was shit, but I came in third place. It literally, credits barely made any because I couldn't shoot a lot of times. Damage is bad. I mean, 1,655. We just didn't make a lot. The medals, I didn't do anything. So here, yep, third place. I mean, the tank did most of the work and the other T-34 Black did. But, again, this is the reason why I hate this reloading. So, final verdict on the GSOR 1008. Now, I know what you're all going to be thinking right now. Fury, Fury, Fury. Go to the store, see how much it is, go easy on it. It's not a bad price for this type of tank style. Yes, I understand what you're getting at, But you're wrong. You're so wrong. So you're telling me out of all the tanks in the season pass ultimate we've been getting, the creature, the the what the hell were the other ones? I'm trying to remember all of them. This is me right now without taking notes. There's the creature. There's the French light tank was almost not that much. Just trying to remember all the other tanks. Leave down in the comments which one was your favorite Season Pass Ultimate. Maybe I'll remember then. But yeah, there's like all these tanks, like even every six. You expect me to be merciful to this British tank? No, 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 no. I mean, this is beyond horseshit, guys. I mean, come on, really think about this. The gun has very, very, very mediocre pen. It's not bad, but it's not good. It's one of those tanks that just you have to. You're literally a puppy kicker. That's literally what this tank is. You are literally 100% a puppy kicker. You are not a person that says, I'm going to take on the heaviest tank. No, you are literally kicking puppies. You see a tier 7, you can delete it. You see a tier 6, you can delete it. You see a tier 8, you're like, how much armor does that fucking thing has? If it's heavily armored, you're on your own. 4 shots. Okay, decently. Pen is meh. Betty other tanks with autoloaders that make you quadruple bunks of money. This is why you don't even see this tank anymore out in the battlefields. I mean, the armaments is bad. You need a commander that has a lot of perks. Sorry, I'm beating around the bush. So, what do I rate this tank? Well, isn't it obvious? 4 out of 10. This tank is below average. This tank is trash, okay? I don't care what anyone says to me. I don't care if because like all the games I play, like, oh, Fury, I've done games and I did really good in it. That's your thing. But I guarantee you, buddy, that you put equipment pieces, you put the booster, which is 20,000 silver, you had a commander with almost 9 perks. So, yeah, have at you. But for me or for anyone else that just started off playing this tank, when we have commanders in other tanks that we don't want to remove and put them in this one, like, why would you want to waste your effort of training this tank? Think about this, audience. You have to train a crew to sign into a tank that doesn't love you. That's the problem with this tank. You're signing a crew to a tank that the tank doesn't love you back. Now, do you want really that abusive relationship with this tank? No. There's better other ones out there. There's the Iron Rain that deserves your love. There's the other auto tank. There's even light tanks with little bit lesser crappy guns than this that deserves your love. Just leave this bitch of a tank. And if honestly, if someone told me that they sold this tank and they told me flat out, because I'm usually against people that sell tanks because that you're just throwing away your money, this is the first time I would say, I don't blame you. I don't fucking blame you. Because this tank is that bad that it was one of the hardest tier 8 tanks I have ever played in a long, long time. And I'm not saying that as a good thing, because usually there's a lot of tanks that are hard to play. CDC, the French tier 8 medium that is technically a light tank. That one's hard to play, but at least that feels satisfying with its pending gun. Here, not so much. And yeah, I would say, as much as I hate to say this, if you want to get rid of this tank of how bad it is, go for it if you want to, because I almost wanted to sell this 5 times, and I never sell a tank in this game. And it's just wow. Wargaming, you were doing so good with the season pass. Stop fucking with the season pass tanks. Give us tanks that are average or best. Don't give us shit. Okay? Just audience. I mean, I understand you're all going to get the Season Pass Ultimate. The videos already came out too late. This is probably going to have no reviews on it. That's fine. Or let alone C's. That's fine. But just be careful, guys, in the future. I mean, this is where Wargaming is going to try to throw shit at you and it thinks that you're going to buy it. Well, of course we're going to buy it because it's 25 plus in the Season Pass and we're all fucking busy in life that we can't do any of this stuff. And this is pathetic. This is purely pathetic. So, yeah, that's my final verdict. 4 out of 10. It's trash. I would not want to play this again after the review. If they come out with an update and make the reloading 25 seconds, 25.0, not like 25 seconds, that's super ridiculous fast. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. If they come out with a thing with this 25.0 reload, I'll come back to it and make a video and say, you did good wargaming. I mean, I wish I had more pen, but you know what? You reduced the reloading in half. I would applaud them. But for here, no. No, 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 no. 40 seconds is out of the line for a gun that barely can't even pen a lot of heavy tanks. I'm not asking for Jesus' gun for fuck's sake, but I expect a gun to do like 270 or 260 at least, not fucking 240, and I'm not loading premium to get that shit, Wargaming. That's making me lose money, not gain money. So thank you all so much for watching. God, at least the next tank is going to be fun when I review that, but I'll see you all in the next video. Just be careful, guys.